So mask kissing is now a thing. Also, someone very smart and totally rational just gave us new orders to follow, and this information comes from the most reputable source of information in the United States, and that, of course, is paid actors. Actors that will say and do anything for a few fiat Federal Reserve notes. As we have these brilliant comments from Whoopi Goldberg saying,
We need to do this, and it's not gonna allow us to be without masks until we all do it, because quite frankly, I'm not going outside until I know everybody outside has had the shot. So I'm gonna be wearing my mask probably, into my 90s. That's just me.
Wow. Such intellect and bravery for this woman to stay in the many mansions that she has with luxe amenities provided to her at any time of day. So brave, so stunning. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Ukradowski of WeAreChange.org, your favorite Polish Florida man. A lot of very important news happening right now, especially with online speech and censorship, which we, of course, will be talking about extensively here in this video, especially after Facebook's latest announcement, the fall of birth rates, the continuation of the Afghanistan war, and 20,000 migrant children housed in camps. Yeah, it definitely isn't a slow news day, week, month, year. It definitely feels like a lot of things are quickening, and that's why it's important to pay attention to what actually is going on compared to, of course, what you're being told to believe. Believe it or not, there's a difference in the two. We're just going to jump right into it, as today we're learning that Derek Chauvin's lawyer is filing a motion for a new trial after it looks like one jury member lied about his participation in anti-police protests. This signals for more potential civil unrest and troubles for the United States. That also economically is facing some severe problems that, of course, we've been talking about for years now. It now looks like it's finally coming to the culmination of what happens when you just blindly print money out of thin air to finance the coffers of the military-industrial complex, the prison-industrial complex, and of course the big pharma-industrial complex, which there's a lot of questions around, specifically as they are set to reach record profits over a medical procedure that all the celebrities and media establishment are telling you to take. This, of course, as we have some very interesting news from Bloomberg that highlights how a small country off of East Africa has a population with the highest amount of people that have taken this shot, that is also implementing very strict lockdowns, which is seeing a, quote, an infection surge. Yes, the numbers of people getting sick is rising. And again, I'm not saying this. This is Bloomberg News saying this. I'm going to save the rest, by the way, for LukeUncensored.com, our new exclusive video platform where we are able to actually tell you a lot of the things that we cannot even discuss here. It's a membership site that keeps us up and running. I have a lot of things to say. As of course in the United Kingdom, they're talking about now a third shot. There's a big effort to get children to take the shot. And there's very extremely interesting comments made by Joe Rogan, who is saying Twitter censored him when he tried to send a private message to a friend about a topic that we cannot discuss here again. That's why we're going to be discussing it all on LukeUncensored.com. Click the link down below. See the very easy ways that you could join and get the information that we cannot talk about here on this platform. Now, of course, it's not only Joe Rogan that's being censored on social media. It, of course, is the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, who, by the way, just launched his own weird communications platform. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But, of course, the main news today is that Facebook's oversight board has decided to uphold the ban on Donald Trump from using Facebook. The board, which is predominantly made up individuals who are on the left, even including one member who publicly insulted Trump's children before, officially banned Donald Trump from the social media platform that he was previously able to speak to millions of people on. Now, it is still not known how long this ban will continue. The board will, quote, meet again within 6 months to decide if Donald Trump is going to be able to post on the platform. Now, very interesting, the decision by this board is, quote, not even binding, and it is up to Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg to decide if their decision was right or not. Now, one of the main reasons that this board decided to continue to ban Trump from Facebook and Instagram is because of the, quote, immediate risk of harm. Now, if only this criteria was used against, the mainstream media that has gotten us into reckless, pointless wars that served no purpose but hurt a whole bunch of innocent people. And again, there's just extreme amounts of examples that I could list right now of just mainline establishment institutions hurting people by lying to them, causing immediate risk of harm. Now, whatever you may think about Donald Trump, whether you like him or you don't like him, if we're going to be using broad, generalized language like that, there's many different ways you can interpret it. And of course, it's fair to say that this board is interpreting it in a way that, of course, benefits them and their larger political ideologies. To have essentially big tech deciding who politically gets to speak truly leads a situation that could cause a lot of harm, because it gives unaccountable power to a select few tech oligarchs that obviously wield it for their own personal benefit. They don't follow by a set of rules. There's no accountability. There's no transparency. There's no recourse. There's only a tech oligarch saying you can no longer exist and communicate in our mainline online society because I said so. That unilateral power could create harm that we can't even imagine. And again, as you're going to learn in LukeUncensored.com, this doesn't just affect Donald Trump. That's why it doesn't matter if you like him or you don't like him. Big tech oligarchs protecting us from his crap posting essentially is irrelevant comparatively to the larger issues that can get censored that may have a tremendous effect on our lives. We have to understand big tech social media usually panders on the establishment talking points that of course don't serve the interests of the general public, but the special interests that many times benefit off of our suffering. And there's institutions like the Democratic Party that are cheering on for this to happen, as of course the official Democrats' Twitter account just tweeted that Facebook should, quote, permanently ban Donald Trump, and that they didn't even go far enough. Media Matters and other George Soros-connected organizations are acting like modern-day tattletales, interpreting Donald Trump's ridiculous post as, quote, microaggressions as they tell people to report posts that they disagree with, which is almost trying to create a society like in 1984 where the citizenry were incentivized to snitch on their neighbors for wrongthink. And again, the bigger underlining issue here that not many people grasp is the idea that a few unaccountable corporatist globalist tech oligarchs are the ones that should discern what information you can and cannot hear, listen to, or see. Yes, the big tech oligarchs are essentially, what they're doing here is acting like a jealous, controlling, abusive partner or parent controlling what data you're even able to consume, because they think they know what is right for you to know about in this existence. And that ideology is absolutely ridiculous, and it is asinine to believe that a few people know what's best for everyone, especially when it comes to knowing what's happening in this world. Now, Donald Trump, of course, released a statement about this latest move. He called it a total disgrace and an embarrassment to the country. He's saying that free speech was taken away from the President of the United States, and he is vowing to come out bigger and stronger somehow. This, of course, is on the heels of Trump launching a, quote, communications platform that allows users to share his tweets and messages on Twitter and Facebook for him. Now, again, Donald Trump promised a social media platform and not just a way to regurgitate his talking points. It's definitely fair to say that Donald Trump's action on this issue has been absolutely inadequate. A lot of his moves have been very egocentric, and he has failed to listen to a lot of his supporters that were previously treated like the way that he's treated now. Again, personally, I am not a fan of Donald Trump. I have made that very clear throughout his presidency, and a lot of the people that did support him are facing a lot of negative consequences for doing so, as of course he ignores them and doesn't even try to help them. This, of course, as alleged Capitol rioters are still being arrested to this day, 4 months after the January 6th event, as the Biden administration at the same time is dropping dozens of charges against individuals who essentially did the same thing. Some would even argue even worse things, trying to set federal buildings on fire, that the Biden administration is dropping all charges against. The only people who are being put away are, of course, Trump supporters and migrants that Biden welcomed into this country during a previous presidential debate where he incentivized people to come through the border. Now we have a huge surge, and we're learning that 20,000 migrant children will be held in old military barracks in California. All of this as U.S. birth rates keep continuing to drastically decline in the United States, as also there's a fertility crisis on the rise. But the Biden administration is going to ban menthol cigarettes, never take out troops from Afghanistan, and support critical race and gender theory that keeps making us more of a segregated country. So yeah, that's happening right now. Safe to say, things are definitely getting very interesting, to say the least, especially with inflation. If you've seen inflation, let us know what kind of inflation you saw down in the comment section below. I always appreciate your comments. I always appreciate the conversation that we're able to have down in the comment section below. For today's homework assignment, send this video to your first ever crush. Whether in high school or wherever it may be, whoever was your first crush, find them on social media. You probably already did. Be like, hey, before we lose our ability to talk freely, you should see this video and hi. Let us know the responses that you get also in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't you guys sharing this video. And because you do, I'm still here. This is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.